As you guys went back out to the Rose Bowl, coaches are usually superstitious.
You know what? I just think it's so special. Wasn't going to hesitate on that one. And it was kind of neat. There was actually there's a sniper squad that was in there right before we got there, and they were shooting targets across the way. So
really,
yeah. I don't know if we're supposed to get that information out, but it was pretty cool.
I think last year there was like a car found with they were worried about a bomb being
really?
too on the ground.
Well, I'm glad they're being protective, and you know, I mean, obviously, proactive is always good.
Was it less of a wow factor than a year ago?
You know, the kids, a lot of more kids. It seemed like they're a little more organized this year. There was DB took a shot, O-line took a shot, LBs took a shot. I think the wide receivers, they go for the glamour effect. They were up in the stands shooting down into the stadium, you know. So I don't remember that last year. So I think guys are a little bit more in tune.
You know, the last time we talked to you, you were talking about your staff, and you said things might happen quickly. Is there any movement in that direction?
Yeah, in discussions with Paul, I know what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't want to release anything from their end, but there's definitely going to be transition on my side of the ball.
So you won't release it until after the bowl?
You know what? I haven't talked to those guys specifically, so it's just one other guy. So
transition on you said your side,
right? Going with Paul. So I really haven't been able to. It's been last 48 hours has been kind of all that stuff going on. You know, it's good. It was a good break for our players because there's some things that need to get sorted out staff-wise.
I just want to make sure I'm clear, and I don't mean to keep prying, but if it's just your side of the ball, that would kind of.
What do you mean, what side of the ball?
You said there's going to be transition on my side of the ball. I thought that meant defense.
Wisconsin.
Okay.
Wisconsin. Obviously, Paul, and you know, he's got a wish list that he has, but.
You said one guy is involved now?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is that less than you might have anticipated? Did you have?
No, I knew he was going to talk to a couple. It was kind of when this whole thing was going down, just talking with Coach Alvarez and other coaches, and said that I should limit. You know, but I don't want to limit my guys. If you don't want to be here, if you want to try the opportunity, you know, I made a point to our guys. This will be my 17th hire in 6 years, and it's something I take a lot of pride in. Have a lot of fun with it. I've had more people contact me in the last 48 hours, not longer than that. Really, since going to Paul's announcement, you know, people just starting to send out feelers or inquiries about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to go about it. So, you know, I never limit myself. I just kind of keep everything open. One of the frustrating things at the University of Wisconsin, you have to have a certain waiting period, but it's also probably in my time in my career, it's allowed me to get some guys that weren't even really on my radar in front of me because it took a little while to go through the process.
So with only one, do you think it's going to be a relatively painless transition?
I do. I really don't think it's going to be a difficult factor for me, the players, or the coaches.
What's your verdict so far on the shorter, crisper practices? Have you got what you want?
I've been very happy. I thought the one Friday was awesome. You know, a lot's going to be seen out here. You know, we usually jumped out with like a 24, 26 period practice on those first 2 heavy days out here, and we're going to stay with that same motto. So we'll see.
I really stay with the 18.
Yep. Which is really what a Tuesday practice the last 2 weeks of the year was all about. But I think it's very important to get the legs back on them, you know, to get the freshness and the crispness. You know, Coach Alvarez, I know his last year, we actually took a day off right in the middle of game week prep. It was either a Tuesday or Wednesday, so that kind of turned my head at that time as well. So
I know you did conditioning work back home. You're not going to do any of that out
here?
Oh,
yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow will be a 12 period, and we'll condition them pretty good afterwards.
Any other conditioning work after that?
Yeah, the next 2 days we'll do a modified workout. Yep.
Is your plan pretty much similar out here as it was last time?
As far as you know, what the one thing about here is the Rose Bowl locks you into things. Like Oregon gets it first, we go second, or vice versa. So you kind of have to build your practice around that. The first couple of days, the practices are in the morning, and then as we get closer, basically from I'm going to say Tuesday on, but it's really not Tuesday, but 4 days out from the game, then we'll start practicing closer to the time you'll play the game, middle of the afternoon.
You were asked down in Indy before the Michigan State title game how you would view this season. If you view it as a disappointment, if you had lost the game, you said you were 10-2, whatever it was. How do you view this game if you win or lose? How do you think the season will be viewed?
It is what it is. You know, I mean, take every game for what it is, and never going to apologize for getting to the Rose Bowl. I think obviously the way you play and the way that the game goes about has a huge factor into it. But I do think the way that we lost last year, it sat in those guys' memory bank for a long, long time, until to this day. So that's definitely something you always consider.
Well, for you, the way it happened.
For me, I want to win. I want to win them all. You know, I want to be able to get to I guess I'm 2-3 right now as a post game or postseason. So love to get to 3-3, and I'd like to eventually get to 4-3, and so forth. But I think there's a lot more talk amongst our guys, and even just the way they've handled their business leading into the game about coming out here and being at our best and playing at our best. I'd look around the world of college football like today. One of the first things you guys heard me say is, I got on the internet today on the ESPN webpage, and 2 players from Illinois are academically ineligible, and there's several other schools from our conference that got players either suspended or ineligible. And again, I reiterated to our guys today how thankful I am for the group of guys I have in this room. That there's a little thing that I learned my first year. You have to pass 6 hours to be eligible, and my first year we gave some bowl gifts to a kid that actually flew down to the bowl, and it was a whole red tape thing to get him back to where he needs to be to get his bowl gifts back from him. And so I won't release anything or take anybody that's even in question. We don't have one kid in question, which to me is worth its weight in gold.
You've been pretty good the last couple of years with that, though.
We haven't had one since the 7-6 year we had one. So I think AR class policy, as well as the type of kids we're bringing in, makes a big difference.
Cons, the plan is still to start him out with the 2s and see how things
go.
Yeah,
I know he's excited. He hasn't been out there. On that Friday when we practiced, he was feeling chomping at the bit pretty good. So we'll kind of pop him in there, and tomorrow's a lot of, we got all 4 phases of the kicking game tomorrow. We have, I believe, six periods of scout work, and he'll get involved in that pretty good.
How were the players after 2 days off?
Well, I just was around him today. We had a team meeting. Herb's had him in working out. I know he was excited about the attitude and tempo they were at, but this is a kind of a wow factor here tonight. Nice hotel, and they're going to meet with the Rose Bowl people. Got dinner, got gifts today, and from the Rose Bowl committee. So it's kind of, let's see where they're at tomorrow.